In between us, it all together. With one hand in mine.
You're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial? Since when?
Gorilla, put it all together. We can drive it home. One headlight.
Federal service follows countless paths. Each road
Federal service follows countless paths, each road unique, each journey distinct. Group life insurance from WAPA has the coverage and to protect you. July on our Elizabeth Sea cruise to Iceland. Absolute luxury. Meet new like-minded friends and hang out with me. Visit chrisblackcruise.com to book today.
And aluminum imports today.
The president is set to announce the tariffs on steel and aluminum products today. Countries that could take the largest hits include Canada and Mexico. They are among the largest sources of steel imports in the United States. The latest tariffs come after President Trump delayed a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican goods and a 10% tariff on Canadian energy. The 30-day pause was implemented. Both countries agreed to step up their efforts to counter the illegal and drugs.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. On Capitol Hill, it's another big week for President Trump's cabinet nominees.
The Senate is expected to vote this week on Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard. Gabbard is a former Democrat, but hasn't gotten a warm reception from her old party, as many have raised concerns about sympathetic statements in the past about foreign adversaries. The Senate could also vote this week on another former Democrat, Health and Human Services nominee Robert Kennedy Jr. Republicans have become more after several Republicans on the fence last week announced their support for Gabbard and RFK Jr. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
With more federal workers ordered back to work in person, added traffic expected on the roads and Navy Yard, expecting over 16,000 workers returning to the office today. And also the president is targeting the Office of Government Efficiency as the Consumer Federal Protection Bureau on the list, as Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren warns of losing the government watchdog on corporations. A D.C. man has now been convicted of killing his girlfriend's toddler.
In March of 2023, Marlon Melendez's girlfriend called 911 because her son wasn't breathing. He was pronounced dead at the hospital, and an autopsy revealed signs of child abuse. Montgomery County Police investigated and found Melendez had been abusing the child. At one point, he broke the little boy's femur. Melendez was also caught on surveillance video from a Silver Spring restaurant, pulling the little boy's hair, digging into his temple, and rubbing lemon juice into his eyes. Melendez faces the potential of life in prison plus 65 years when he's sentenced in June. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Electric vehicle sales are slumping for one U.S. car maker.
In its fourth quarter earnings announcement, Ford signaling its losses to its EV division are projected to continue this year after losing over $5 billion in 2024 amid sluggish consumer demand and industry pricing pressures. Unlike Ford, GM does not report its electric division sales and financial figures separately, but says the company saw a 50% increase in sales last year from the year before, marking its best sales year ever for EVs. Last year, Toyota announced it would postpone its plan to build EVs until next year. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Checking your money. Dow futures up 248. NASDAQ futures up 176. Up next, traffic and weather on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archive, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
Stocks have done well, but now valuations are still at historically high levels. Is now the time to look beyond the market leaders? Every week, the Wise Investor Show discusses the latest financial trends and what investors need to know. To learn where to find value in a pricey environment.
That's some high-tech shit right there. Holy fuck.
Slash the Wise Investor Group, or just find us on your favorite podcast app.
The Prince William Polar Plunge back again in 2025. Join Special Olympics Virginia and WMAL for an icy dip in the Potomac during the DMV's coolest fundraiser. Enjoy a day of music and fun. You could even win the title of Best Dressed Plunger. It's all happening at Leesylvania State Park in Virginia on Saturday, February 15th. Go to polarplunge.com and create a team today. Your donations will help support the athletes of Special Olympics Virginia. Learn more at polarplunge.com.
Here's Jamie Whitten in the Hippie Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Crash on Canal Road between Arizona Avenue and Reservoir Road has all traffic stopped right now. Additionally, we've had a tough morning on Canal Road just heading into Georgetown. A long-standing crash on M Street near Key Bridge. The George Washington Parkway southbound is hung up near the CIA to get through the long-term work zone, approaching and passing on 23. Southbound on the Baltimore Washington Parkway, the four-car crash is before 895. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
New work week, new weather pattern. We'll start off dry. We'll go mid-40s today with a partly sunny skies. Scattered clouds into the evening, temperature dropping back upper 20s and low 30s. Overcast skies a bit Monday night. For the morning rush, no issues, no worries. But by midday, some light snow overspread. Scattered snow showers off and on to the picking up in intensity right on through the overhead in the morning before it wraps up. We could see inches of snow on the ground. I WC there all the Friday data graph in the First Alert Weather Center.
37 degrees now in Washington. I'm Barbara Pitt on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
That will be history already in the building tonight, as President Donald Trump becomes the first sitting U.S. president ever to attend a Super Bowl game live. What the heck? The first sitting president to ever attend a Super Bowl game live. Very specific phrasing. Yeah, in the house for the first half anyway. And how was he received? I've got that coming up for you. Taylor Swift was there too. Did she sing any songs or she dating Kendrick Lamar or anything like that? Because, Kendrick Lamar was there. What words did he use anyway? Does anyone know what words he used? I was trying and it's trying. I think I recognize that word. Can you say that on TV? Isn't that inappropriate? Kendrick Lamar, what did he get, the Nobel Peace Prize? He didn't get he got the Pulitzer Prize, though, for that song that you can't even play on the radio because of all the words. People that call themselves liberals love that stuff. They not really on the side of civilization, which could be problematic, if they're in charge of anything. Oh, wait, they're in charge of all kinds of things. Like the deep state, and more bad news over the last 24 hours for the deep state, the permanent bureaucracy from the FBI to, you see this, Elizabeth Warren created a new government agency. She's very proud. She created a new government agency that will live forever, or it won't. This, Consumer Protection Agency. I'm in favor of consumer protection, but I think we got about 14 or 19 different agencies looking at the same thing. But Elizabeth Warren never had a problem with redundancy, repetition, or unnecessarily duplication. That's a little bit of a redundancy joke there. That's got that going. So looks like her phony baloney, let's create a government agency may be on the way out, and that would probably be okay. Because if every senator created a new government agency in every Senate, how long would that take? And the whole thing. But we've got a lot to get to. Big Super Bowl game last night. I'm sure everybody watched at least the first half of the big Super Bowl game last night. And it was, boy, I had several text threads going simultaneously. And the comments and remarks during the session again, everybody, including President Trump, who did an interview, and we have a bunch of this for you, with Brett Baer on the Fox News channel yesterday at Mar-a-Lago, then got on Air Force One and went to New Orleans, went to the game for the first half of the game. The president left at halftime to come back to Washington and the White House. I don't have a tracking beacon or anything like that. But I think that's right. And if I were looking out my window, I could see him coming and going, but that's another discussion for another day. But the game, boy, the comments were, President Trump predicted that Kansas City was going to likely win because of their great quarterback. their great quarterback didn't show up last night. Mahomes was not at his best last night, let's say, not by a long shot. And I got to say, the Philadelphia Eagles, how do you spell that again? Because the mayor of Philadelphia tried to spell the Eagles when she was leading criminals in a chant. Was she leading criminals in a chant? I think she was. And she couldn't remember how to spell the word Eagles, even though it's the name of their football team in Philadelphia in the NFL. But never mind her. Parker, that's why public education in Philadelphia is not what it ought to be. But they won anyway. What the hell? You don't need to spell. You just need to knock people down real good and all that. And then there was something of a riot in Philadelphia last night after the win. Good thing they didn't lose. There might have been a body count. But Philadelphia fans, famous for being rowdy and all that stuff. And I'll get to the riot in Philadelphia. That mayhem. Well, you know, was it a riot? Was it an insurrection? I think it was probably an insurrection. Isn't that amazing? They're tearing down street lights and all kinds of things, and lots of violence and destruction. That's because, as everybody knows, Philadelphia Eagles fans are the Palestinians of the NFL. They're the Palestinians of the NFL. And so you should expect, you know, there's like Hamas. Hamas won last night. And did they take any hostages? What if there are any hostages? Because they do have that they have their own jail in Philadelphia. They still have that jail, I think, don't they? Just for them. So we've got the big Super Bowl last night, and again, friends, multiple text threads with friends. Boy, this game is not going as expected, and it wasn't I was expecting a really great football game with two great teams and great quarterbacks and offensive play, and Philadelphia showed up. They showed up to play, and they kicked butt. They were dominant, and KC, who I kind of expect, I wasn't heavily emotionally invested, but I expected KC to win the game, and boy, they didn't show up. They just took a beating and drubbing. They're like kids at a grown-up game, and didn't go well for them at all, gotta say. And the halftime show was the worst halftime show in the history of Super Bowl halftime shows. It was awful. Got that Kendrick Lamar guy. Was he cursing? We're still trying to figure out whether he was cursing. Did he use the S word? Did he use the N word? Nobody can really tell because you couldn't understand anything that he said, which, you know, whatever. Was he yelling about Drake? Was he yelling about Drake because he's got this Drake drunk dread thing? I'm not sure what that's all about, but remarkable stuff. So there was a lot going on there. We stayed up to the bitter end, and it wasn't that late, I guess, but we stayed up to the bitter end. I also, is it me? Maybe it's me. There were not a lot of Super Bowl parties last night. Not a lot of Super Bowl parties. Wah, wah, wah. And I don't know why that is, but who can say? Who can say? So we've got a lot going on. Again, President Trump did an interview with Brett Baer prior to the Super Bowl, and I think he did the interview at Mar-a-Lago, and then the president flew to New Orleans for the Uber Bowl, and left at halftime, and probably just as well. Now, KC eventually did score a little bit through a couple of, at the very end of the game, it's like, oh, there's Mahomes. He showed up and threw a pass, and it went right where it was supposed to go, and it was a touchdown. You're supposed to be doing that all night long, though. That's why they pay you what they call the big bucks and all that stuff. Wah, wah, wah. And there was a lot of people talking about the ad. There was an ad during the Super Bowl last night advertising recruiting for the Secret Service, who are not having the best year they've ever had. And social media goes nuts for stirring Secret Service Super Bowl ad featuring Trump shooting. Absolutely epic. That's the headline there. And the TV ad was produced by a big action Hollywood producer. Remarkable stuff. And the left is, they're all crazy about Elon Musk. They really hate him. They really hate almost everybody, though. But they really hate Elon Musk. And, he's an African-American, and they're the party of the KKK and the Confederacy and Jim Crow. So that might be why they hate him. Might be because they just hate everybody. Remarkable stuff. Now, there was a headline. These headlines were out there. Reports suggest, try to use some mushier language there. Elon Musk might get a little mushier, spend $40 million on Super Bowl ads targeting government waste. That's a great headline. I don't think that happened. Did that ever happen? I don't think those ads appeared. Sounded like it would be a good idea. A friend of mine, federal law enforcement, sent me, hey, keep your eyes peeled for the Elon Musk Super Bowl ads about government waste and Doge. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna hit my DVR twice. I'm gonna record this twice. And I watched and I didn't see any of those. I don't know if the communists prevented that from happening or what's going on. Remarkable stuff. President Trump asked that. No, he did his interview because he doesn't do enough media. He did his sit-down interview with Brett Baer of the Fox News Channel. Then he got aboard Air Force One, where he did another interview with all of the press flying on Air Force One. When the president flies aboard Air Force One, the president travels, and even in the motorcade and stuff, you might find what they call the press pool, the travel pool. And there's one camera crew from TV and one TV reporter and one wire service reporter, with his pen and pad, although he doesn't have a pen and pad anymore. And then you got wire service and newspaper print, other print people, and they travel aboard Air Force One in a little compartment, a small room aboard Air Force One. President Trump invited them in, which Joe Biden never, ever did, and did a full-blown press conference with them aboard Air Force One, flying to New Orleans, apparently, and answered a lot more questions. And there was a lot of good stuff going on in there. Now, there's a funny headline in the New York Post that made me laugh. Trump rules out deporting Prince Harry, of the British royal family, of the inbred royal family. The inbreeding is their bag baby. So Trump rules out deporting Prince Harry. Quote, he's got enough problems with his wife. He's got enough, end quote, he's got enough problems with his wife. President Trump, I think, is right about that. He's married to that. He shouldn't be. Why did he do that? The guy had such a life, and look what he did. Man, oh, Manischewitz. I'm telling you. Woohoo! CBS very disappointed to announce that their new poll shows that President Trump is more popular than ever. How did he get so popular? He's enormously popular. Very, very popular. And the poll numbers from CBS, they've got, it's not what CBS wanted, but I've got that high approval rating for Trump in first month, CBS poll shows. And, but then a lot of the media went digging through the poll to find some negative numbers, and they highlighted and featured those negative numbers. Because that's our news media. They're not a legitimate news media at all, are they? No, they're not. Also, this has got the people on the morning shows really riled up. Trump says he's directed Treasury to stop minting new pennies. Stop making new pennies. Why do you have so many pennies? We don't want new pennies. Get rid of these pennies. So he announced that we're going to stop making pennies. It turns out it costs a lot more to make a penny than a penny's worth, but we've known that for a long time, truth be told. That's been true for a very long time. And now it's much more. President Trump put out on Truth Social last night. For far too long, the United States has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents, he said. They actually cost, what is it, like 3.7 cents per penny, I think is the number. This is so wasteful, Trump said. I've instructed my Secretary of the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies. Let's rip the waste out of our great nation's budget, even if it's a penny at a time. Even if it's a penny at a time, see, because the penny at a time. And we pay a lot more for a penny than a penny is worth. But it didn't really matter when it cost. I also saw this morning that a nickel cost like 13 cents or something like that to make. But it's currency. It's not, precious metals that we're talking about here. We got that going on. Wah, wah, wah. And here's an exciting exclusive from Axios. Book reveals Trump's worry about Iran targeting him. The jihadis, they want to murder him. They're very upset that he killed a king terrorist named Soleimani, Qasem Soleimani. Very, very upset. Yes, they are. But a book is out saying, no, he's actually concerned. He probably should be actually concerned about it, as a matter of fact. Womp womp. What about peace in Ukraine? People at CNN really upset. He said he'd stop the war on day one. He hasn't stopped the war yet, and it's more than 2 weeks now. So CNN is upset that he hasn't stopped the war. It'll be coming up on 3 years or something for the war there. It's all Joe Biden's war, but Trump's been in for, several lunch hours, and he hasn't stopped it, so he must be vilified. Amazing stuff. We've got Doge and Elon Musk, and what about the young guy with the racist tweet? Well, he must be a Democrat. I don't know what's he doing in there. Remarkable stuff. And federal employees returning to work. So in Washington, people are really worried about traffic and parking. Not that they're self-absorbed or anything like that. We got illegal aliens stealing from churches. We've got Israel. And in the United Kingdom, they've got a poo museum. Naturally, where else would they have Great Britain, the Navy, buggery? You know the story. We're at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Please, if you can, avoid the area around Georgetown with this long-standing crash on Canal Road near M Street. This is really bunched up, not only Canal Road, but MacArthur, Foxhall Road, Reservoir Road, and now a new crash reported on Canal Road between Arizona Avenue and Reservoir Road. 4-car crashes on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway southbound before 895. One lane was getting by there. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Partly cloudy today, high 46. Tonight, cold 25 outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, expect some snow.
Attention taxpayers. The IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, property seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 today. Get the help you need at 1-800-278-9000 or visit tnusa.com.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. Don't forget the meeting of a yoga class and the dinner reservation, but then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1-pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full-body burn with the new Arrowhit workouts, the perfect blend of heart-pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code TONAL200. That's Tonal.com and use promo code TONAL200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code TONAL200 for $200 off.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Attention taxpayers, the IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, property seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 today. Get the help you need at 1-800-278-9000 or visit tnusa.com.
No one knows music like Rolling Stone. Senior writer Brian Hyatt talks the biggest music news from the biggest stars.
Beyonce. So there's a whole lot to talk about. Bodyguard, that's kind of your song. Did you originally intend it for Beyonce? Everything is for me in the beginning. Okay. Take us through the life story of the Notorious B.I.G. You're this 14-year-old kid who feels like a prodigy. We're also supposed to have an interview with Ghostface Killah, but he kind of ghosted on us, which I guess is appropriate.
Rolling Stone music now. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your money, the state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want.
Vince Holidays, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
The kind of thing I pay attention to. I'm looking at.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back. When someone tries to get hypey with me,
You match energy.
I do match, and it's all Josh.
Yes.
Get to know the TV personality.
It is one specific storyline that lasts 14 weeks plus a couple reunions, and then you move on.
And the mom.
My parenting, and actually Ocean really likes it. Would you like a cookie? And some Taylor Swift. Shake it off.
Give them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WMAL, making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Kendrick Lamar, he's a Pulitzer Prize winning something or other. That prize is no longer of any value to anyone. All right, let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Rob, calling from Montgomery County, Maryland. Roberto, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Mr. Chris, good morning to you, sir. Happy Monday.
Monday.
In the People's Republic of Montgomery County. You know, I have a new one word for these people now. The like Ducky and all the rest of them. You know,
President, if we find out about all the government waste and fraud and abuse, everybody always uses waste, fraud, and abuse like it's one word. But who do you think's been driving the train on the waste, on the fraud, and on the abuse of our government dollars for all these decades under cover of broad daylight, right out here in the light of day with the news media, such as it is, not looking into it, not reporting on it, because I think because they're protecting their pals, right, Rob? No, you're absolutely right. They haven't learned any lessons, and here's the reality: the new administration is trying to find government waste, fraud, abuse, which amounts to corruption. And the Democrats are like, hey, wait a minute, that's us. So they're throwing themselves in front of this train at every turn, right?
yeah, buses, trains, cars, anything is moving.
Yeah, it's amazing. And if we had a news media, they'd be scratching their heads and saying, well,
Why is it that all the Democrats are so vociferously fighting for every inch of government bureaucratic turf? That question answers itself, of course, if you have two brain cells. Thank you, Rob.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center, late delays through town in the northbound 3rd Street tunnel before Massachusetts Avenue, and that's to go outbound on New York Avenue right as you come out of the tunnel at New Jersey Avenue for that crash cleanup. Tough morning on Canal Road continues as you head into Georgetown with the long-standing crash on M Street near the Key Bridge, and a crash reported in the backups on Canal Road between Arizona Avenue and Reservoir Road. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Partly cloudy today, high 46. Tonight, cold 25 outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, expect some snow.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
EAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
YouTube personality Betty Johnson has cracked the code on a new era of newsmaking. Very writing for nobody. It's a new cultural landscape.
Now, it's your country, bro.
The Benny Show.
Hey, if it's something that you needed, just put a little tap in your stack.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
We're the stronger than we look type. I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing. No more complications. Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Bravo TV star Lala Kent holds nothing back.
When someone tries to get hypey with me,
You match energy.
I do match, and it's all just.
Yes.
Get to know the TV personality.
It is one specific storyline that lasts 14 weeks plus a couple reunions, and then you move on.
And the mom.
My parenting, and actually Ocean really liked it. Would you like a cookie? And some Taylor Swift. Shake it off.
Give them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of the tragedy.
An airline commercial flight 50-30-42 crashed with a Black Hawk helicopter.
That airliner was attempting to land on runway Brink International Airport.
Are no survivors. So that's really a tough week for the family. The passenger and crew members. I apologize for the secretary. Mistake is made.
We are going to conduct a thorough investigation.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Praying for the victims and first responders.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archive, all with the new WMAL app.
This is for you.
Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
If you're listening to sports, if you're looking for an edge rusher, looking for a run stuffer, you're looking for a big time player in the middle of your defense, you're in luck. Mixed with pop culture, sprinkled with celebrity interviews, you needed the title Everybody Loves Raymond. That's true. Is it appropriate for you to tell people to hurry it up? It's appropriate on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Bill Burr is here. I want to know who you defeated to get that title as best dad ever. I want saga of dads. And you're enjoying the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related
In the fuck is going on?
atrophy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit See for a Lifetime.
Why isn't that fucking shit showing up here?
Intact. In life of the world, a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success. It's worth it.
I was on the phone.
My dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Fucking cowbirds.
Benevolent Troll calling from the People's Republic, calling from Montgomery County in Maryland.
Yeah, DA and his little friends, Matt Jim and all that. I'd block his friends and he'd beg me to unblock them. He did. How about it, DA? Huh? Come on, boy.
Threatening Supreme Court justices, and then an armed gunman shows up at Brett Kavanaugh's house, and nobody in the media or the Republican Party, for that matter, sees any utility in pointing out that the Democrat leader in the Senate was inciting and instigating this insurrection. But never mind that. Remarkable stuff. Now, there's something big going on here in D.C. today, in our capital. The headline of the local NBC television station: nearly 17,000 federal workers. They're not employees, they're workers, like in the communist Soviet Union. Nearly 17,000 federal workers returned to office at Navy Yard on Monday. At Navy Yard, they got 17,000. I've been down to the Navy Yard. I don't think that.
I know someone from Governor that works at the Navy Yard. Been there for years.
Close.
Younger than me. By about 10 years.
Thousands of federal workers
Works at the Navy Yard.
Returning, and so,
He's an engineer.
In-person work on Monday. In-person work. That's got to be terrible. Michael, what would you do if you had to show up to work? That'd be a kind of an amazing thing.
Okay, Charlie.
Federal workers are turning back to in-person work on Monday after President Trump's executive order. And then they've got their local reporter talking about it because, oh no, the traffic's going to be so bad. And what about the parking? We don't have enough parking. This is actually a big story in Washington, D.C. today. I'm not making this up. I guess my question is, where was the parking last time you showed up to work? And when did you stop showing up to work? Because of the Wuhan? Because a lot of people stopped showing up to work for the Wuhan and then started showing up again maybe a year later. But how many years ago was that now? So years and years, what is like a half a decade, it's the government. Some dimwit makes a decision, probably Joe Biden. And, everybody can work from home. It doesn't mean you're a ditch digger and they tell you to work from home. You're a school teacher and they tell you to work from home. Well, just do everything by Zoom call. And now when it's time, hey, chop, chop, back to work. Like, oh no, the traffic's going to be so bad. What about parking? And what is the story? Michael was looking at a story today. So they've got 17,000 employees. I reject the term worker, but only 4,000 parking spaces. So how did this all work before? You tell us that there are 17,000 employees that work there that are now going back to work. It's not like it's day one. We just invented the idea of work, and they show up.
Wow. That's some fucking high-tech shit right there.
But there's only
my face red.
There are only 4,000 parking spaces. So did all 17,000 people drive their own cars by themselves? Is that because we have these slug lines in Washington, which is I've never seen any place else actually, where people go to intersections or to subway stops or even bus stops, and and you're in your car and you're by yourself and you're going to Navy Yard, and you know that these three people over here, they're all going to the Navy Yard too. So you let them get in your car and you carpool in so that you can use the HOV lanes, right? I almost said HIV lanes because South Africa was in the news a bit this weekend, and things got so bad there that they have HIV lanes. That's because hey, hang on. So and they're really, oh no, people go in the Navy Yard and the Pentagon. There's like 24,000 people work in the Pentagon.
Better put a return address on it, because I ain't taking nothing from none of you fuckers.
Work fine, really, since
You send me something in the mail, it better be a fucking cashier's check. Other than that, I ain't opening it.
Because, there are certain people, some people.
I'll send it back.
So what are we going to do? Federal workers brace for traffic and parking as they return to office on Monday. The city worked fine for generations, decade after decade, with all of this going on until about, 20 minutes ago in the grand historical scheme of things. But now everybody's all riled up and we're parking. Traffic. Parking concerns grow as thousands of federal employees return to office. At least they said employees. I appreciate that. Some federal employees return to the office Monday. And I guess if you got used to working from home for how many years? 4 years? 5 years? 5? Is it 5 years? I think it's a long time. It's coming up in a half a decade of working from home. Then say, hey, let's everybody go back to work. And who was it? We had a cabinet secretary last week saying at his department about 5% of the employees show up on Mondays and on Fridays. About 5%. Because, why would you show up if you don't have to? And it's the government. It's not like there are any standards, anybody's watching what you do or anything like that. The radical left-wing extremists at WTOP radio. With limited parking, thousands of workers to return to in-person at Washington Navy Yard. Why is it only the Navy Yard? Is that the only place people are coming back to work? They must have better PR than anybody else because they got all the headlines. The Navy Yard. Yeah, and nearly 17,000 Washington Navy Yard workers are expected to report to work in person 5 days a week, starting Monday. That's today. Setting the stage for days of traffic headaches. There was no traffic headache for me coming in today, but that guy in the pickup truck did almost head on me. Almost hit me head on Wisconsin Avenue, but never mind that. Federal personnel assigned to the base and the surrounding communities should prepare for traffic congestion, increased foot traffic, and gate delays.
Last one.
District Washington said in the news release. Listen, you guys have a job? You getting paid? Am I paying you? I think I am. I'm maybe not your whole salary, but I'm one of the people paying for it. Amazing stuff. So the Naval District Washington said its leaders have worked with area government and officials and police to inform efforts for public safety.
As a matter of fact, you know what?
Control. And the base has been working with its tenant command to ensure a smooth transition back to the office. Isn't it kind of like, hey, it's been a 5-year weekend and today's Monday. Let's all come back. Where did you park 5 years ago? How did you drive in 5 years ago? And it's probably true there's been less traffic. My traffic pattern is not the same as most people's traffic pattern, but that will be a challenge. There are only 4,473 parking spaces. They got enough employees to count the parking spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4,462. Oh no, I lost count. I got to start over again. So there are only 4,473 parking spaces, according to the military installation. The Navy Yard said once all the parking spaces are full, drivers will be redirected elsewhere. That makes sense, doesn't it, Michael? I think that's probably best. Ward 6 council member Charles Allen. Now, that's not the, because I thought Navy Yard was Trayon White. I know he lives there in the Navy Yard in his $5,500 a month apartment. That's why he needed those bribes. Ward 6 D.C. council member, city councilman, Charles Allen said 8,000 to 10,000 vehicles are expected. He said the district will have the additional traffic control officers in the area, but suggested employees take public transportation. Why didn't I think of that? Thank God for government, because, who would come up with these brilliant ideas? Wait, there's a subway train that we can take and come in? That is amazing. Okay. So what are you going to do about that? Well, I don't know. Go to work, do what everybody else does. And then when we really need to figure this out as a coffee clutch. We need to reestablish, I'm going to drive into work or I'm going to take public transportation. Then what do I do when I get there? Well, you park. Well, there's not enough parking. Oh, no. We're really starting from scratch with these people, aren't we? Now, what century is it? Where have you people been? Man, oh, man. The move to full week in-person work comes following President Trump's January 20th executive order.
I warned you, Charlie. I fucking warned you. You're not coming to my chat and talk to people who fucking trash me. I'm sick of you motherfuckers. Wiggin is out. He's out. He fucking blew it. I've had enough of you, Wiggin. Don't ever get in my face, Wiggin. You or any of your fucking goons. I'm fucking sick of you.
Jetpacks. That's a remarkable time we're living in, isn't it? Yes, it is.
No, I'm not going to have people I don't know who they are harassing me.
Let's go to the phones.
Hey, you guys got away with it in JC's chat and all that. Yeah, go live, JC, because I'm coming after you, bitch.
Hey, John.
Charles, I ever get a chance, I'll kick you right in the fucking nuts. You toothless fuck. Piss me off. Always talking about being pissed off. I'm pissed now, Wiggin. You pissed the wrong fucking person off out here, Wiggin. You treated me unprofessionally, and I'm fucking gonna smash you. Verbally. It's fucking shit, you guys running around reporting people and all that fucking crap. What a bunch of fucking yahoos. Think I want to entertain you, motherfuckers?
Muriel Bowser, who is a complete dimwit. I did not vote for her myself.
I don't find you funny, Wiggin. Now you're going to get trolled.
To call it Black Lives Matter and then completely.
I made you buy a new couch. That fucking woman showed up. That fucking couch smelled like you from 30 years ago.
Failure of the schools.
Thank the fucking high heaven.
16th Street.
Fucking ignorant.
And where she closed off 16th Street is right in front of the White House.
You and Alicia. Oh, don't pick on my girl. Oh, now look at you. I was right. You fucking, you took our girl who's a slut.
All over the city since the Wuhan Red Death.
You guys are going to talk about kissing and telling and shit.
The Democrats lied to us about it for years on end, and they lied and lied and lied about the Wuhan Red Death not coming from the Wuhan.
Don't care, Wiggin. I don't care about your relationship with any woman. I could give a fuck. Now I don't care about you being a father. It's your problem. You're not the only one with a crippled child in the country. You're an ignorant motherfucker. And you do it behind this shit.
In Washington, D.C. say we really need to.
I ain't your friend.
And make them bike lanes.
And I am not supporting you now. Fuck you.
morning.
I supported you all this time, and you've treated me like shit.
And
I let you get away with it.
There are bike lanes on major roads that have taken lanes away from cars. And if you see one bike on the bike lane or in the bike lane at rush,
Especially you, Charlie, you're a dumb fuck.
Hey, look, that bike lane is being used by one moron.
You're one stupid drunk motherfucker.
When he was 5 years old on his three-wheel.
And your brother does. Look at him. He is an alcoholic. Look at him. You can tell he's fucking used to sniff paint and all kinds of shit. Look at him. If not fucking drunk every day, first thing he gets up is drink. Just like you. Watch you fall out of your chair at Petros's fucking chat. You two drunk, stupid fucks.
Collection devices that were built into place by friends of the Democrat Party that got the contract to do this money grab on the. There's
fuck you, Wiggin.
The Russian embassy's got a speed camera there. I think I've gotten 3 speeding tickets from the camera. You know, going by the Russian embassy, and $100, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of them all over the city because they want to harass and extort money from the Washington, D.C. residents and people that come in to go to work from Virginia and Maryland, mostly. But you're right. The bike lanes, the speed cameras, the red light cameras. Oh, and wait a minute. I'm not sure if you mentioned this because I was taking notes on what you're saying. They also just banned all right turns on red in the entire city, right? Okay, sorry. I was taking notes on what you were saying. You're 100% right. They say, look, the president says everybody come back to work. We're tired of paying you to sit in your pajamas and eat Cheerios all morning. I had Cheerios at breakfast this morning and eat Cheerios all day. But you're right. They banned right turn on red in the whole city. They shut down 16th Street for Black Lives Matter Plaza. They put bike lanes in on major roads all over the city. They honestly, the speed cameras and the red light cameras are everywhere to shake down everyone that comes into the city every day, people that work in the city, people that are just passing through, because they're communists. They're, they call themselves liberals, but they're not. Boy, are they not. Because the Democrats, they're making everything better. And one of the reasons there's no more right turn on red, so their sons can carjack you more easily. How many carjackings last year? Like 950 carjackings in our 61 square miles of dirt? 900. It was more than 900 carjackings. Because the problem is not our guns, it's your sons. Yeah, good stuff, John. I hadn't thought it through myself. But you are 100% correct. That's John. He's right. We're at 888-630-9625.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. We are in great shape through town, each direction on the freeway between the 11th Street Bridge and the 14th Street Bridge. Those delays have all cleared out. However, where we still have delays in the northbound 3rd Street Tunnel as you come off of the freeway, and that's jammed to head outbound New York Avenue. That first light at New Jersey Avenue still with crash cleanup, causing that backup. Crash reported on Canal Road between Arizona Avenue and Reservoir Road. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Partly cloudy today, high 46. Tonight, cold 25 outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, expect some snow.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund, so you can do
Oh, ignorant motherfucker right there.
It's taxes. Intuit Credit Karma TurboTax.
Bravo TV star Lala Pet holds nothing back. When someone tries to get hypey with me,
You match energy.
I do match, and it's all just
Yes.
Get to know the TV personality.
It is one specific storyline that lasts 14 weeks plus a couple reunions, and then you move on.
and the mom.
My parenting and actually Ocean really liked it. Would you like a cookie and some Taylor Swift? Shake it off.
Give them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of Washington. So it happened again? Is that what you're telling me?
yet another guest of this program now has a job in the Trump administration. Vince Colonnade, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. The Trump transition team is spending a lot of time on WMAL.com looking at all of the guests who have appeared on this program, which does bring a smile to my face. I do like that good people are getting good jobs. Vince Colonnade, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of
No, Randy.
making sense.
Here we go.
There are no survivors.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL,
Me for the victims and first responders.
making sense of the news.
Hi, I'm Jamie McMurray, professional race car driver here with cab driver party. Professional cab driver. Sorry, professional cab driver party. Drinking responsibly is within your limits. If you are over yours, ask Hardy or someone like Hardy to get you home safely. To learn more about drinking responsibly, go to 40train.org. Oh, think I could take your number 26? Get out of there.
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the Century Council.
At this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. What will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a path into focus. Public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit today's.
You get one fucking post and I nail you. Good luck. Go open your own fucking chat.
You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin? Street.
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at StopText. Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. Cumulusboost.com. Cumulus boost.com.
The ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Welcome to Talkville.
I'm starting to have night sweats.
It's going to be rough, Ryan. That's why I gave away my 3 roses this season.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Women giving birth to triplets or quadruplets or even more are less common today than it was a few decades ago. That's the National Center for Statistics. The reason for this is that guidance has changed for patients using IVF. The guidance now is that really only one embryo should be transferred at a time. Part of the reason is that embryology labs have advanced over the years. Additional testing available. That can give more information about the health of the embryo before insemination. But keep in mind that a singleton pregnancy really is the healthiest option for both the person and the baby. Multiples raise the risk of preeclampsia, preterm birth, helping you live a better life.
WMAL, making sense of the forecast, because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right, let's see. Let's go back to the telephones. Let's go to Roger calling from Bowie, Maryland. Roger, you're on the Chris Plank Show. What? Back to work? Where do you work?
I'm happy to go
To the Navy Yard? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Are you back at work today? Oh, wow. 5 years work from home. I'm glad you called in, and good luck getting to work after your
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning. I'm Barbara Britt. A state of emergency has been declared in Virginia ahead of a winter storm that the National Service warns will likely dump heavy snow and ice across much of the Commonwealth. In northern Virginia, snow accumulations could reach 4 to 6 inches, with a winter storm watch going into effect at 1 p.m. tomorrow through 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. Virginia State Highway currently in a statewide meeting to prepare, and crews are already out pre-treating the roadways. Maryland also gathering more information today, but Maryland State Highway expected to follow suit. The full WMAL forecast is coming up. It is back to work in the office for thousands of federal workers, nearly 17,000 at the Navy Yard alone. The Navy warning its employees of heavy traffic and limited parking. President Trump last month signed an executive order calling for employees to return to full-time in-person work. D.C. Councilmember Charles Allen, who represents Navy Yard residents, urging employees to take Metro. Later today, a federal judge will hold a hearing on Trump's administration's buyout offer.
Last week, a federal judge extended the deadline to accept the buyout until at least after today's hearing. But Congressman Glenn Ivey says the buyout is only one of many of DOJ's actions keeping federal employees up at night.
They put some probationary employees on the list, threatening to fire them. There have been threats about demotion, threats about transfer. This is an overall list that's trying to scare and intimidate federal workers.
President Trump defending Trump's gutting of the federal government, saying on Friday,
He's fighting tremendous fraud and corruption and waste.
Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The White House has pledged to cut the federal workforce by 10%. Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich in his weekly roundup is promising local help for federal workers in our area.
USAID employs many federal employees and contractors, including organizations and employees in Montgomery County. Many were told this week that they no longer have jobs. This is another setback for our county's workforce, which has been under duress during the first few weeks of this presidency.
Elrich noting several county jobs programs that can help sideline workers. Salvage operations continue in the Potomac River following the deadly mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and American Airlines plane that left 67 people dead. The NTSB says all major wreckage from both aircraft have been taken to a secure facility for investigation. One runway at the airport remains closed, and the number of flights coming into Reagan National remains slightly reduced.
It's unclear when the delays could ease, but it may happen sometime after crews wrap up a salvage operation in the Potomac. They expect to finish by February 16th. Also unclear when a ban on most helicopter flights over the Potomac near Reagan National will be lifted.
That's 7 News' Tom Rousey. Checking your money at this hour. The Dow is up 152. The NASDAQ up 176. Up next, traffic and weather on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Celebrate Valentine's Day at Whole Foods Market. Prime members get a 24-stem bunch of roses for $24.99 each from February 10th through 14th. What a better way to say I love you. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply. Your projects begin here. The Capital Remodel and Garden Show, February 21st through 23rd at the Dulles Expo Center. See Brian and Mika Kleinschmidt from HGTV's 100-Day Dream Home on the TD Bank stage. Buy tickets early and save at CapitalRemodelandGarden.com.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now. Save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, it's Larry. Want to hear the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to Reynolds and Power Home team. Simply text your address to 800-763-3000. No phone call, just text your address to 800-763-3000. 800-763-3000.
Here's Jamie Wigton in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Beltway delays are just about done here as we work interloop through Annandale, outer loop into Silver Spring, the last of that volume toward Georgia Avenue. In the northbound 3rd Street Tunnel, still slows near Massachusetts Avenue to get outbound New York Avenue to that first light at New Jersey Avenue after we had crash cleanup ongoing. DC 295 southbound after Burroughs Avenue to get you past East Capitol Street slow. From Garage Door Repair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Partly cloudy today, high 46. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. Tonight, that is, down to 25 outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, that is when we have our winter storm watch starting at 1 p.m. Up to 4 to 6 inches of snow predicted coming in from the south. 38 degrees now in Washington. I'm Barbara Britt on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
We begin today with our first assessment of how President Trump and his policies are doing just 3 weeks into his second term. Our CBS poll finds that a majority of Americans, 53%, approve of the job he's doing. That's a better approval number than he ever reached during his first term in the White House.
And CBS Fake News is very distraught by that fact. That's not what they had hoped to learn in their latest poll. Well, good Monday to you and welcome back. Hope you had a wild Super Bowl weekend. Not too hungover today. Margaritas. What do you have for New Orleans stuff? For Philadelphia, I don't know. A gunfight. What do you have? Hard to say. Welcome back. We remain at 888-630-9625. Big football game last night. It was not the greatest football game you've ever seen. I think every playoff game was better.
And stay out of trouble. You punk motherfucker, Wiggin. Huh? And there's the cops right there. Huh? Come on.
Yeah, coming back to work and lots of mayhem. And in the meantime,
Come on, you online tough guys. Come into my chat.
In the meantime,
I feel like Wiggin right now.
DC, Muriel Bowser, the mayor here, and people like Trayon White on the city council, they've come up with great ideas like shutting down major lanes of traffic to put bike lanes in. This ain't China. Nobody rides in it. It's not Copenhagen either. Nobody rides bikes here. It's not a bike riding place. Everybody Although I do go by, what is it, the Swedish embassy? I go by the Swedish embassy from time to time. Seems like every time I go by, there's a woman leaving the Swedish embassy. She's got to be in her 70s, and she's pushing. She's on one of those scooters, that you stand up on, but it's not an electric one. It's the one you push with your foot, all right? Like it's a skateboard with handlebars, And every time I go by the Swedish embassy, here comes this lady with white gray hair, pushing her scooter along 34th Street. And it's kind of an amazing thing to watch. But that's not important now. That's not important now. So coming back to work, and it's causing all kinds of pandemonium. Oh, no, there's going to be traffic. Where am I going to park? And we got the bike lanes here, and they just banned all right turns on red in Washington, D.C., the whole city. It's one of the stupidest things that anybody's ever done. But we're working on stupider things here in Washington. It is our nation's capital, after all. And what else have they done? The bike lanes, the no right turn on red. Oh, they hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more speed cameras and right turn cameras, so they can mail you tickets at your home, and charge you money for driving through the city. They're gangsters. It's gangsterism. It's third worldism. They're not on our side. They're not the good guys. Remarkable stuff. But lot of fun things and crazy headlines. Federal workers brace for traffic, parking as they return to office on Monday. Brace. That's what everybody does everywhere on the planet, every day of the week. I actually did do the radio show from home for quite a while, for many months, and I couldn't wait to come back to work and drive back to work. I'm not a one-man traffic jam or anything like that. I mean, my returning to work didn't change traffic patterns, I've got to say. But I want to get to the Super Bowl stuff, too, because that's bigger than traffic and parking in Washington, D.C., believe it or not. Believe it or not. It was kind of a big deal. Also, it looks like another fake government agency, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, is being shut down. Isn't that the one created by Pocahontas? Didn't Elizabeth Warren create this government agency so she could proudly say, I created a government agency? But this Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was just stood up a handful of years ago, and now it may be shut down. How many new government departments and agencies and bureaus do we need? And won't that just increase our traffic and parking difficulties? Come on, what about traffic and parking? Let's take that into account. Why don't you? But let me get to the Super Bowl now, because I just saw something this morning that I was unaware of until not too long ago, and I said, "Wow!" Last night they had this Kendrick Lamar character. You know who this guy is? He likes to use the N-word and curse, and the Democrats gave him a Pulitzer Prize for it. I'm not even making that up. I sometimes mock that they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't think they've given him the Nobel Peace Prize, but remarkable stuff. The performance last night with Kendrick Lamar, which I was being texted all over the place about this, and a lot of people couldn't understand anything that he was saying. Some people were convinced that he was cursing, using the S-word, cursing, and maybe the N-word, which, if you're black, is not a curse word, right? It's fine. You can do that. But do you have any of the Kendrick Lamar music from last night? Because it was, I was being texted by people all over the place saying that was the worst, even while because it was going on and on and on. And people were texting me, this is the worst. First of all, it was the worst first half of a football game in Super Bowl history. Then you go to the halftime show, and you've got Kendrick Lamar doing the Kendrick Lamar stuff. Right? And I was being texted, does anybody understand this guy? Can you understand? Did he just say beep? Did he just use the N-word? And you couldn't tell, but because you really couldn't understand him. I heard Super Bowl. I was telling walking New Orleans with the attic in the LA. Right. Wow. That was the greatest song ever, I think, wasn't it? Just amazing stuff. Well, something happened there last night that I was unaware of until I came into work this morning. Here's the Associated Press story. The headline is, Super Bowl halftime performer detained. Detained. What is this? Sudan? Detained after unfurling Sudanese Palestinian flag. Of course, there is no such thing as Sudanese Palestinian flag. But the guy pulled out kind of a Palestinian flag with wrote the big word Sudan on a big white stripe, and then the word Gaza on a big white stripe. And the story goes like this. A performer in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show was detained on the field and could face charges after unfurling a combination Sudanese-Palestinian flag with the words Sudan and Gaza written on it. The NFL confirmed the person was part of the 400-member field cast. The New Orleans Police Department said in a statement that, quote, law enforcement is working to determine applicable charges in this incident, end quote. I'm trying to figure out what the crime is here. You're a political radical, maybe you're a jihadi, but in the United States, I think you're not breaking the law when you pull out a flag and you're a dancer on a field at a football game. Maybe I'm just too old-fashioned, but isn't that remarkable? And charges applicable in this incident. Maybe he was spreading misinformation because Hillary would put him in prison for that, right? The individual will be banned for life from all NFL stadiums and events, NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said in an emailed statement. Now, his name is Brian McCarthy. Couldn't we just call him a spokesman? Does he have to be a spokesperson? Do you think there's no gender at the Associated Press? Because I'm going to bet that Brian McCarthy is a man. He might even be normal. He's with the NFL. The performer stood on a car used as a prop for Lamar's performance and held up the flag. The NFL said the individual hid the item on his person and unveiled it late in the show, and that no one involved with the production was aware of the individual's intent. It's not a suicide vest. He didn't blow himself up. But I think he's an idiot, and maybe he's from Sudan, maybe he's a terrorist. Worry about that. Not ROCK. Rock Nation, the entertainment company which produced the show. Heck of a job, Rock Nation. It was the worst halftime show in the history of the world. We were hoping for a wardrobe malfunction from someone, but that didn't happen. The entertainment company which produced the show said that the act was neither planned nor part of the production and was never in any rehearsal. They had lots of rehearsals. The show continued without incident, and it did not seem as though the person was shown on the broadcast of Lamar's performance. Imagine being one of the 400 and you're never even seen. How can you not even be seen? When he whipped out his Sudan Palestinian flag. Now, this is kind of neither here nor there, except for this. The person was detained and then turned over to the police, who are looking at what charges can be filed for holding up a flag, a protest flag. I thought in the United States of America you had First Amendment rights and things like that. But the left, they're not good at any of this. That's crazy. Yeah, my friend Mark sent me that this morning, and I hadn't even seen it. Pretty remarkable stuff, I got to say. Super Bowl halftime protester gets lifetime ban from NFL stadiums. Got a ban. That's what he's getting. That's going to be the charge. We need to know a name. Is it like, Mohammed bin Laden? Because, they're hiring based on DEI things. So you're hiring radicals. You got Kendrick Lamar, who's out there saying who knows what. Even he doesn't know for sure. A performer at Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show unfurled a flag emblazoned with the words Sudan and Gaza in protest over the two wars roiling the Middle East. The stadium detained the performer shortly after the flag was waved atop a car. CBS News is covering it now. The other was the Associated Press. Used as a prop in the performance, New Orleans police said they're determining whether any charges would be lodged against the performer. And how are you going to prevent somebody from getting into an NFL stadium forever? That is a lifetime ban from NFL stadiums. With facial recognition programming, you wear your N95 mask and an Eagles hat with the word Eagles misspelled on it. You see how they're selling Eagles garb with the misspelling that the Democrat mayor of Philadelphia offered us. That's the Democrat mayor of Philadelphia. But now hats and shirts, T-shirts and sweatshirts are being sold with the misspelled version of Eagles that the Democrat mayor gave. Honestly, you should be removed from office in a day, I think, when you do something like that. You people, can I say you people? Is that okay? I think I can. Okay, look what I've done to the clock again. Isn't that wonderful? And I've got audio that I'm going to get to. I'm going to come back to your calls, and then we're going to get to President Trump, who was at the Super Bowl for the first half of the Super Bowl at least, and other events. It was not the greatest Super Bowl football game of all time. It was really not a good halftime show at all. Boring, dull, couldn't understand a word, didn't even see the Sudanese, Palestinian, Gaza flag, any of that stuff. Remarkable. And we continue to be at 888-630-9625.
Excuse me while I whip this out. There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Ever wonder why your business doesn't show up on online search maps, but your competitors do? It's hundreds of things. Things that Cumulus Boost can identify and fix. And that's how we boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Attention taxpayers. The IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment.
Fuck you, Mary. Fuck you, Mary Bernie, you fucking stupid bitch.
Or visit
No one cares about your fucking cooking, Mary, because you're not a fucking chef. You're just a lazy fucking welfare bitch. Come in with a disability, expect everybody to fucking feel sorry for your dumbass. Oh, I lied, JC, about being a chef because I wanted to fit in. You fit right in. They're all a bunch of liars over at JC's. It's that simple. JC's a liar. They're all fucking liars. Almina's not a liar. I haven't seen it. Mina doesn't lie. She plays off other people and says shit, but Mina doesn't make shit up and lie. She knows she calls out bullshit. Tiffany is full of fucking bullshit. So are you, Mary Bernie. You want to fucking do that? You think you're trolling Billy Hayden by your people fucking blocking me and you talking to them so I can see you? The fucking stupidest trick in the book. The only thing worse than that is Sebastian talking to himself all the time in a chat.
marchofdimesbaby.org.
All the Wiggins people.
Is that time of year when it's
Now Wiggins protecting who Empty Child is. No, you know who I am. So I clone you. Right? You get mad just cloning the name. Haggis did that. He got madder than a fucker when I cloned him. You remember that, Shan Camp?
Barely throw them away. Many of them will continue to function properly up to a year after the expiration date on the label. They can store properly. Have more information about expiration date extensions on the FDA's website. Meantime, if you haven't gotten your COVID-19 or flu shot yet this season,
there, lady Sky, you quit posting. Why? Yeah.
And probably more mild. Jay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
To see a retina specialist.
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance.
There's certain people in here. I'm sick of you.
Key symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients
So if it looks like you've been banned, I'm sick of you.
Floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Attention taxpayers, the IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more,
you see it.
Unfiled tax returns.
You see it.
Experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate.
Randy and his friends been running around. They got the thing going that I'm fucking calling me a pedophile. So now Randy's finally made me done it. Now I got a fucking Kid Tiddler has joined the crowd. Because that's what he is. He's a kid. His name is Kid Tiddler.
Every day.
Something wrong with that boy.
News Talk 105.9.
Got it, Randy. Come on up on my panel, Randy. I dare you. I'll let you up. Let me know you're in my side chat, and I'll let you up. Come on, Randy. Come on, you fucking fat rash. You got more fucking fat rolls than Mary Bernie does.
Drinking responsibly is knowing your limits. If you are
Pick him, Jeff. That was totally unprofessional what he did to me. That's him attacking me by him letting them do that. All right? And that's been the argument every fucking time. That's what he does. He wants to say that I'm thin-skinned. Well,
Miss anything? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Get today's breaking news on the Vince Colonnade Show weekdays 3 to 6 right here on WIL.
there it is. Can't block that. You can't block that, Randy. Drove you in, Mary Bernie, out of fucking Vegas chat just a little bit ago.
When 400 people crawled out of a Buick Regal. This Buick Regal, the GNX, the Grand National Express.
Patrick, I don't want to hear it. Okay? Don't post JT's name. Don't talk about them motherfuckers. All right? Talk about getting your motorcycle fixed. Stay out of my business, Pat. Because the next time I'm just going to fucking ban you. Because I'm not putting up with it.
Pretty cool car, but that was ridiculous.
Wiggin doesn't run this fucking place.
Because Democrats.
And I'm never going back to his chat.
Let's go to the telephones again, Michael. Let's go to Charles, calling from the great state of Pennsylvania. Charles, you're on the.
You'll have a wrench in my chat, probably. Depends on how you fucking treat me. Logical's been pretty good. I haven't seen him using my mother's fucking picture. And I've got everybody on block because I got wrenches on all my accounts. Now, except for this new one. We'll make a video, Randy. Then beg JC to watch it. You guys running around begging each other to watch each other's videos. I made a video. Here's your video.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm here to listen to the news. You hear what's going on? They fucking in the city of Washington, D.C., you can't turn right on red. And it, go figure, that makes it easy for a gang of fucking thieves to come up and steal your car from you.
That's true, yeah, because
Your life's in danger when they do that shit.
but if you're Kendrick Lamar,
They got the cameras right there, but they don't arrest those people, but they'll fucking send you a ticket. It's fucked up.
Because
That's fucked up.
Therefore, 2 races, 2 standards, no waiting. And you're right, To Kill a Mockingbird is one of the great motion picture classics. It's based on the Harper Lee book, of course, one of the classics.
There's Angie in Vegas. Oh, look at my haters hate me. Oh.
And I gotta say, you didn't miss a whole lot missing the game last night. I'll give you that, Charles.
What you informed me of. So anyway,
yeah,
it was
I don't like you, Jeff Holler. You're a punk. I don't like you, Jeff. Go play.
Good idea.
Go play with your friends, Jeff. This is the adult chat. You're not an adult. Go play with Steph and all them. Go away, Jeff.
WMAL News at 10:30. Virginia's governors declared a state of emergency.
Come back with your other accounts, Jeff. See what happens.
Area tomorrow midday coming up.
Because you're on the same page with Wiggin as far as I'm concerned, you punk little fuck.
That's Ellen Kamalakis with VDOT requesting people stay off the roads.
I'll ban every motherfucking one of you mother cocksuckers, including you, CB. Go away, CB. You stupid fuck.
Now blocked President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children of those in.
Can't talk to her, Patrick. I banned her.
And weather next.
This report is sponsored.
Ain't gonna happen, Patrick. They're not gonna be able to have a conversation here. My fucking thing will go down to 0.
Free and easy.
As Tiffany and Angie are crying in Vegas chat.
It's Jamie Whitman in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning.
Yeah, well, I banned her.
Good shape, but it's road work now that's going to give us delays. So don't get caught off guard on the outer look at the Georgetown.
CB's not really welcome in my fucking chat.
Fairfax County Parkway, that is bunched up to the works on your Pope's Head Road. And
sorry, not working.
Along to get you past Shirley Gate Road if your destination is heading toward 120.
Not working, Randy.
From garage door.
Not working.
The WMAL Stormwatch Center.
There you are, Randall. Right there, you fat fuck. Right there you are. You guys want to troll? You've been trolling me for days now on this fucking pedophile shit. So you want to go that route? Well, let's go that route. Yeah, well, guess what? All Jar Wiggins names are getting banned. So get the fuck out of my chat, you punk motherfucker. There's no home for you here, Wiggin. Go open your own panel. You're not welcome in my chat, Wiggin. I don't like you.
$4 extra.
Piss me off. Fuck you.
Your money. It makes me crazy. In retirement, you're going to want to use your 401k, but every time you dip into it, you have to pay tax.
God can't help him.
You have to pay money to get your own money.
Should have been nice to me and left me alone. Let me do my thing, whether who the fuck that is, right? It's, they're interchangeable. Obviously, Paul Beach Life has something to do with it.
For your customized retirement tax.
Well, fuck you, Wiggin. Go fucking pal around with your British friends and Whippermantle and Monica and all that shit and leave me the fuck alone because you're not going to do anything to me, Wiggin. You can't do anything to me.
Rubbish Financial Wealth Management LLC, a registered investment advisor for insurance services.
You're never coming on my panel again.
Compensated opinions are his own. Weight loss is not available everywhere.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Fuck you.
Everyone's talking about the
That's right, Patrick. You're witnessing it. There's a reason why I haven't fucking banned you. You know that, right?
.com/radio. You can access doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you, like GLP-1.
Talking over the commercial.
Ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, or oral medications at a fraction of the price. That's right.
Idiot.
You'll save up up to 91% per month on compounded semaglutide based on pricing through Hertz. The same active ingredient as the name brand drug at 91%.
I'm just going to ban everyone, Wigan. I don't care what you have to say. What you have to say does not matter to me, Wigan.
Your personalized plan ships free directly.
I don't care what he's doing. Let him do whatever. Go watch Tom Flash, Sardu. I really don't give a fuck. I don't. Go beat him up, Wigan. You're the one fucking doing streams on Tom Flash. Don't piss me off, Sardu. Because I'm already there. Because I really don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, what I need to do. And what I want to do. All right, Pat. I fucking told you, don't ask me why. Every time somebody uses the word why in a fucking post at me, you better hope I don't ban you, dumbass. Don't ask me why. You already know why. Shut up, Patrick Rowe. Stupid fuck.
The deadline to file a claim is close. Call now to get the justice, closure, and the financial settlement you deserve. No matter how many decades ago it was, call our law firm's juvenile detention sexual abuse hotline right now at 800-285-3502. 800-285-3502.
If you want to watch Tom Flash, go watch Tom Flash. I can't watch it. I did. And then Wigan did what he did, you know. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not putting up with Wiggins' fucking bullshit. He's a punk motherfucker.
Last night, the Super Bowl licks.
And you know, Alicia, she went there. She went there. And you got Tiffany out there trying, oh, Alicia, and decrying Wiggin. Like Wiggin put a spell on her. She needed the money. That's simple.
Civilization in the world. Thank you, Rome.
But she wanted it.
That's because most people under 30 don't know anything about.
So essentially, Alicia did exactly what Rusty said somebody to do. He doesn't like the banks. And there's a reason, because, alimony or whatever, fucking child support, fucking having illegitimate kids.
There's no word. 50.
So Alicia did it the clandestine way, and, it cost him 10 grand.
Malcolm the 10th. That's
you pay my flight ticket when I get there, and you pop, and every time I touch your pecker, that's $100.
59.
Oh, Wigan. And what's the sense of touching that fucking thing when you can't even get it up? And you touch it and it don't get up, And you still gonna give her the $100? You better.
It's kind of it's part of the death of Western.
Randy is not king, Sardu. Randy ain't fucking shit. All right. So you can just go fuck off, Sardu.
Let's go to President Trump yesterday. He was there in the
try again.
Which is, what's it called? The salad bowl. It's called.
You guys are nothing but a bunch of porn bombers. It's all you fucking. You guys are, you like the malware side of this shit.
It's the casino. I see. Caesar's Uber Bowl, and Superdome. And I think if it's called Caesar's, it should be the salad bowl, shouldn't it? I think so.
Go play with fucking Tom Flash. He's your new fucking Lucky Charm, I guess.
By a friend that I then shared with other friends, and it's about the origin.
I'm about done with Vegas, chat.
Super Bowl. Why is it called the Super Bowl? You might want to know. And nobody knows why it's called the Super Bowl, right? Except people do know. Why is it called the Super Bowl? Well, because long ago, listen to this. In the mid-1960s, Lamar Hunt, who was the owner of the American Football League's Kansas City Chiefs at the time, first used the term Super Bowl. In the mid-1960s, Lamar Hunt, owner of the Chiefs, to refer to the AFL-NFL championship game, and they were having merger meetings, right? And we got this big game. What do we call it? And Lamar Hunt started calling it the Super Bowl. Hunt later said the name was likely in his head, Super Bowl, because he said his children had been playing with a Super Bowl. You know, the hard rubber Super Bowl. I have one at home. I have a full-sized, black Super Bowl at home. And every now and then it's just fun to bounce Super Bowl real hard. And so his kids have been playing with a Super Bowl, which is a hard rubber bouncy toy. Vintage example of the ball of the Super Bowl is actually the Super Bowl is actually on display at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And in a July 25th, 1966 letter to NFL commissioner at the time, Pete Rozelle, Lamar Hunt wrote in the letter, quote, "I've kiddingly called it the Super Bowl, which obviously can be improved upon." So that's kind of fun. Good for Lamar. His kids were playing with a Super Bowl, and then they've got a bowl game coming up called the Super Bowl. And it stuck, and he's like, and Lamar said, "I've kiddingly called it the Super Bowl, which obviously can be improved upon," is kind of funny. And it stuck, even though he thought it wasn't the greatest name for the big football game. It stuck, which is pretty good. Wah, wah, wah. Also a great crazy story out of Chicago, because the owner of the Chicago Bears, the matriarch of the McCaskey family, owners of the Chicago Bears, Virginia McCaskey, died last week at the age of 102. 102. And now in Chicago, there is talk that the family, now that Virginia McCaskey has died at the age of 102, that the family may want to sell the Chicago Bears. But it turns out this could be complicated, because there was, when she died, there was no guidance given. And there must be a will somewhere, but it sounds almost like there's no will in the McCaskey family saying what should be done with the team, the Chicago Bears, presumably their largest holding. But listen to this, 102-year-old Virginia McCaskey died, leaving the family that owns the Chicago Bears with no direction. And she has 9 living children, 3 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and 4 great-great-grandchildren. And nobody knows who owns the Chicago Bears. Wow. That's pretty nuts. And so Virginia McCaskey, 102 years old, passed away. And now the team is in the hands of the family, with 9 living children, 40 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, 4 great-great-grandchildren. That's a lot of offspring right there. That's pretty crazy, I got to say. Yeah, and there is an article. Whose article is this now? The sportsmockery.com, but they're lifting from other. There is no plan in place as to what to do with the team. Wah, wah, wah. That's pretty nutty. That's having money in the family is good, but having a clear will is a good thing too, I think, in circumstances like that. All right, I still haven't let's go to soundbite number one. Number one. President Trump is there in the stadium. He's in a skybox. He's with his lovely daughter Ivanka, who is looking wonderful. There was a woman to his right. I don't know who the woman was. There were other people in the skybox, the booth, whatever you call it. And, he's got the good seats. And they were doing the anthem, the national anthem of the United States of America, after doing Lift Every Voice and Sing, the black national anthem, because the Democrats love racial division. They've loved racial division ever since they were living on their plantations with bullwhips and all that stuff. But then they did the American national anthem, which is for people of all races and is not a racist national anthem that, the kind that the Democrats like because they're racists. But President Trump there in the national anthem stood up, and as commander-in-chief, he was saluting Ivanka next to him with her hand on her heart, and who can blame her? And so the camera went to President Trump, and he showed up on the jumbotrons in the stadium, and you'll never guess what happened. Now go to Trump. And the crowd. In New Orleans, the crowd cheers. The crowd goes wild. They couldn't be subdued. Not really. It was all very polite, but a very nice round of applause for the President of the United States. And he's standing for the anthem and saluting Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces and all that good stuff. And then there was Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was there. She was in the stadium. There were other kind of, Hollywood-y people, none too interesting, I think, but Taylor Swift was there, and she sings songs, and she also dates a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, and she was in, and there were a lot of Philadelphia fans in the stadium too. But Taylor Swift was at the Super Bowl, and the camera then went to her, and she was on the Jumbotron. A lot of booing, and she's looking around like, what is this about? Why am I getting booed by the crowd at the stadium in New Orleans at the Salad Bowl? Why am I being booed by the crowd? Yeah, it's crazy. And the answer is, of course, Philadelphia fans is and then there's another possible answer. Kansas City fans, because they probably had about enough of you too, being so much a part of their football team's story. But here's what Taylor Swift said after she was booed at Super Bowl 2025. The New York Post headline: Taylor Swift's 3-word reaction has been revealed after the 14-time Grammy Award winner was pelted with boos during the Super Bowl 2025 matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. The cruel summer hitmaker, who's 35 years old, completely over the hill, appeared on the Jumbotron inside Caesars Superdome, the Salad Bowl, but was quickly met with loud boos from die-hard Birds fans, Eagles fans, spell it any way you'd like, causing Swift to do a subtle double take before smiling. But after being caught off guard by the harsh reception to her presence, the singer turned to her pal and rapper, Ice Spice, in the VIP box and said, "What's going on?" That's it. Just, what's going on? It's like, well, you're being booed by a stadium full of people at the Super Bowl, at the Salad Bowl. Isn't that amazing? What's going on? The Fortnite singer who was at the game to cheer on her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, was seen saying on the scoreboard in response to the boos, "What's going on?" She just kind of couldn't believe it. That's fair enough. Adam Sandler appeared on the Jumbotron. Paul Rudd is the most overrated Hollywood bad actor in the history of overrated Hollywood bad actors, but never mind that. Unfazed by the booing, she smiled ahead of the Chiefs' blowout. 40-22, the Chiefs lost to the Eagles. And boy, and it's amazing they put 22 points on the board. And it was kind of a last-minute thing. So she was booed, and what's going on? Understandable. She's a pop star. She's got 2 private jets, just in case one, needs cleaning, something like that. And then there was one piece. It was one of the first things I texted Michael Piercy this morning on our text thread. I said, grab this Kendrick Lamar bit from his big show, his big song, whatever it was, at the halftime show, at the worst halftime show ever at a Super Bowl. And I said, this is good for radio. We might use this in radio ads. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. And you should add and turn the radio on, right? And that the thing. Wop wop wop. All right, let's see. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Marco calling from Springfield, Virginia. Marco, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
And he's and they just caught up with the game. No, the solution because some of these shows have been absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's a great movie with Matthew McConaughey on Netflix. Something whatever that has to do with the life of Newton. A great he was a quite the hero. And it mostly just for
A Matthew McConaughey movie on Netflix about the abolitionists. And are you saying that you turned that on last night when the football game was on? Is that what you're saying?
Before the football game, there's the N word in there a lot, but it's used in a context where it's applied to people of color, applied to people, ignorant people. When they're talking about ignorance, that's something about color. That's something about slavery. Okay? And there's a real one that's called the Free State of Jones.
Right. Well, the DVR suggestion is a very good suggestion, and I used my DVR last night certainly, and it's the halftime show you could have missed. Now, for me, you understand, Marco. For me, I kind of had to watch it because it's part of talking about it today. So I've got an obligation to watch it, and I was texting with friends. All of it was I was texting with people in 4 different time zones about the football game last night, and the halftime show was not going over well with anybody. I didn't find anybody that said, no, this is a good halftime show. I'm liking this. It's really, really great. Completely nuts.
Yeah.
Mark, thanks. You bet. And thank you for the movie review too. That's fun. And but the DVR is the digital video recorder. Most people don't. You ask what a DVR is. No, see, it's that thing that records, right? So the digital video recorder that some cable systems and things have, and I use my DVR very, very regularly, mostly not because of sports, but because of the business I'm in and news and sound bites and covering the news and going, wait, did they really just say that? So I can back up and do that. So I do a lot of that. But yeah. Crazy man, crazy. Had a little scratchy on the Marco phone there, too. A little scratchy every night. It sounded like a record album on a turntable. What's going on with that? Probably on our end. Womp, womp, womp. We have President Trump's interview coming up. That interview, then a press conference aboard Air Force One. Lots of President Trump coming up.
You're listening to the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Making sense of your morning.
Lots of coverage here on that developing story.
O'Connor and Company. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here getting you through your morning.
Making sense of Washington.
Asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard. Headline.
Because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Mornings from 5 to 9. News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
It is that time of year when it seems like everyone and their mother is sick. and it is human nature to want to know what you're sick with. Sometimes you might be able to seek out a targeted treatment. Other times, the best you can do is look at the cold and flu-like symptoms. Probably somewhere in the back of a drawer or cabinet house, you might have some old COVID-19 tests that have expired. Don't necessarily throw them away. Many of them will continue to function properly after the expiration date on the label, assuming that they've been stored properly. You can find out more information about expiration date extensions on the FDA's website. If you haven't gotten your COVID-19 or flu shot yet this season, it is not too late. Now remember, they won't always make your illness quicker, probably more mild. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
ACL Sean Ryan captures real stories about sacrifice and strength.
My biggest fear wasn't death. My biggest fear was nobody will remember me. That motivates a lot of people. Just made me feel invincible. Helping the student dorms. They were all convinced, I think, that they were all of a sudden you say, what is really important? Let us reveal the truth to ourselves. That's it. The Sean Ryan Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Clarity and contact. Complex world.
Be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in the story, isn't there?
Every day. Why are we the only ones reporting this? News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms will account for a distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
No one knows music like Rolling Stone. Senior writer Brian Hyatt talks the biggest music news from the biggest stars.
Rock, Beyonce. So there's a whole lot to talk about. Bodyguard, that's kind of your song. Did you originally intend it for Beyonce? This from the beginning. Okay. Take this through the life story of the Notorious B.I.G.
You're this 14-year-old kid who feels like a prodigy.
We're also supposed to have a really Ghostface Killer, but he kind of ghosted on us, which I guess is it.
Rolling Stone music now. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Making sense of Washington.
So it happened again? Is that what you're telling me? Yet another guest of this program now has a job in the Trump administration.
Vince Colonnade, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
The Trump transition team spending a lot of time on WMAL.com looking at all of the guests who have appeared in this program. Look at this like people are getting good job.
Vince Colonnade, 3 to 6 p.m. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of social media, because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Okay. President Trump's interview and press conference yesterday coming up. He did call the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. A lot of people did, of course. But they didn't show up. And Mahomes didn't show up. He's told the fans of Kansas City, we will be back. You're getting paid again next year. So, yeah. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Mark calling from Toronto, which we keep in Canada, America's hat. Mark, you're on the Chris Plank Show.
Welcome. You called in. Yeah. More from you on this. Can you hang in for a couple minutes? Because I don't think I left you enough time. Can you hang in for a couple minutes? Please do.
Media station, making sense of the news. News now.
WMAL News at 11. I'm Barbara Britt. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has declared a state of emergency, with Virginia's Department of Transportation sending out crews to repair roadways for snow.
Looking at several inches of snow. We are going to be mobilizing about 2,500 trucks to treat the roads with this.
That's Ellen Kamalakis with VDOT.
We are looking at what's going to come in on Tuesday, as well as Wednesday and afternoon rush hour, because we have 2 waves to it.
The winter storm watch goes into effect tomorrow at 1 p.m. until Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. The full forecast coming up. President Trump planning to announce a new round of tariffs, 25% on imported steel and aluminum.
President Trump calling them reciprocal tariffs that are directed at countries imposing charges on U.S. exports.
Typically, as we know, President Trump has a rationale and a reason for doing what he's doing.
Iowa Republican Congresswoman Marionette Miller Meeks on Fox says she's still looking at the tariffs to see how they'll impact manufacturing in her district. President Trump had proposed tariffs on Mexico and Canada before reaching an agreement on border security with both countries, delaying the tariffs for 30 days. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
A third federal judge has now blocked President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children of those in the U.S. illegally. And the Trump administration has offered federal workers a buyout offer to quit their jobs as labor unions are pushing back. And a federal judge will hold a hearing in just hours.
There is a definite degree of uncertainty for the roughly 65,000 federal employees who have reportedly already accepted the deferred resignation plan. Judge George O'Toole has not weighed in on the merits of the case, but did push back that deadline for workers to decide. He's going to hear from the government and a group of federal employee unions representing about 800,000 workers. Those unions argue that the Office of Personnel Management lacks the authority to make such an offer and questions whether the government is able to pay the buyout.
That's Fox's Alexandria Hoff. The Trump administration says the government will honor the deferment offer. A jar of pennies on your bureau may soon be worth a little more as President Trump orders the end to minting pennies.
President Trump announcing Sunday that he's ordered the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies as he continues to find ways to cut government spending. Made the announcement on Truth Social during the Super Bowl Sunday. U.S. Mint reporting in 2024 that it cost 3.69 cents to produce a penny, resulting in a $179 million loss for the U.S. Treasury. The president calling it wasteful, saying it's time to rip the waste out of the nation's budget 1 penny at a time. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Checking your money, the Dow is up 118, the NASDAQ up 232. Up next, traffic and weather on News Talk 105.9. WMAL.
YouTube personality Betty Johnson has cracked the code on a new era of newsmaking. Very strong. Or no, it's a new cultural landscape.
We're deciding this. Time now. It's the country.
Bro, it's the Betty Show.
Hey, if it's something that you need, put a little pep in your step. Huh? Yeah. Follow and listen on your platform.
Chevron's latest deep water development, Anchor, is powered by innovation.
helps enable us to safely produce oil and natural gas at greater pressures, setting a new industry benchmark. Anchor is pivotal in our goal to produce 300,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day by 2026 in the Gulf of America, home to some of our lowest carbon intensity producing assets. That's energy in progress. Visit chevron.com/anchor to learn more.
Listen weekday mornings at 8:29 for the first 100 days report, tracking President Trump's newsworthy events his first 100 days in office. The first 100 days is presented by Leonardo DRS. Our agility, your advantage.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn that's more affordable than you think. Don't wait. Visit TrueGreen.com today and let the pros handle the work while you enjoy the results. That's TrueGreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
This year, grow your hair back with multi-unit hair grafting and PRP, which grew my hair back. Call 703-763-0016 for a free consultation or go to growyourhairback.com. That's growyourhairback.com.
Here's Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center, Baltimore, Washington Parkway. If you're heading southbound inside the Beltway through Riverdale, give yourselves extra time. The incident southbound between 410 and 450, giving us those late delays. Beltway leaving Greenbelt, inner loop slows between the Baltimore, Washington Parkway and 450 with the work crews. Outer loop after River Road slows into Virginia to the Georgetown Pike. That work zone had been blocking the right lane. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Firmware 7 forecast.
Partly cloudy today, high 46 tonight, increasing clouds, low 25 outside the Beltway. Tomorrow, we start cloudy skies, a cold start. That snow expected to develop by late morning and into the afternoon. 4 to 6 inches of snow predicted with this storm moving in from the south. Right now, 40 degrees in Washington. I'm Barbara Britt on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and CD worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
We have to come together, but to come together, there's only one thing that's going to do it, and that's massive success. Success will bring the country together, but it's hard.
President Trump yesterday talking to Brett Baer and, success. Remember when success was an American norm? Before the left comes into the country and starts sucking all the blood out, like the vampires they are. And we have our new friend Mark on the line, calling from Ontario, Canada. And Mark, I appreciate your calling in and hanging in there. I'm thankful.
I'm hanging in.
Very good. And I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if you've been following closely along, but you know that your Prime Minister, your Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Blackface Trudeau, he was caught on tape. This undoubtedly has made a lot of news in Canada as well. And you can barely hear him, but I want to play it for you. Here's the Blackface Trudeau saying, "Oh yeah, Trump is serious about making Canada a state." And I don't know if you heard this. It's less likely, Mark, that you heard President Trump yesterday talking to Brett Baer, and Brett Baer said, Justin Trudeau. He said to President Trump, he said, Justin Trudeau said you're serious about Canada becoming the 51st state, and it went like this.
The Prime Minister said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen, he was a private meeting, he said that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing? Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah, dang Canadians. What's with that, Mark? Yeah, please.
Well,
yeah.
So I'm in Toronto. born in Toronto. And there's 40 million of us now up here at the border. And we have depended on the United States of America to protect us. Canadians don't want to admit it. That's
Wow, it fucking went out. And then these motherfuckers are gonna cut him off. They don't want people hearing that shit. Hope you heard that, JC. Hope you're watching. There's a good technology. It's on their end. But I don't know why they preempt it.
A state, you should become a state, you're saying. Right.
That's I would recognize that 3 words, and I could tell that guy's from Canada.
Right.
and you know what? Even though we're in the midst.
Yeah, JC, you're a Democrat.
Right.
Trudeau.
Toronto's wonderful. Canada's, of course, wonderful. It is America's hat, and it is America's largest national park. And everybody loves Canada. Canada's wonderful. You send us all our comedians, and we're very grateful for that. And lots of hockey players,
too, and that's wonderful. But, the comedians are number one, I think. And I think Canada produces more comedians per capita than any country in the history of the world. And that's something to be very proud of. But this is actually a topic of discussion. I personally suspect that it's probably not going anywhere, this idea of Canada getting statehood. But if there's discussion in Canada of this happening, and I'm not surprised that your Canadian friends and relatives are shouting you down, what, are you crazy? Become a part of the United States? But you're 100% correct, of course, that the United States has provided safety and security to Canada, certainly since World War II, but you could say even before that, the Russians and buying Alaska from the Russians and creating a buffer between Canada and the Russians, even before the Soviet Union came along. But, I occasionally say, because I think it's fun and it's also true, that were it not for the United States, first of all, were it not for the United States, the entire planet would be a great big slave orb orbiting the sun in our solar system, because the totalitarians would have taken over everything.
And where would you be, Nem?
World War II.
On the New World Order stage. Nem, you're so knowledgeable about America.
Holding the Soviet Union at
biggest,
and all of that.
biggest fucking dummy out here. Nem.
And we all love Canadians. So you got to make fun of people every now and then, just because it's important to make fun of people every now and then. But everybody loves Canada and Canadians. My best girl and I have been to Toronto together. She has some of her relatives in Canada that we've visited a number of times. We go to Vancouver. We have friends in Vancouver. And, Canada's a wonderful place. It's kind of cold, That's why most Canadians live very close to the American border, because it's so damn cold up there. What is it, like 90% of the population of Canada can drive a golf ball into the United States from where they are, something like that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, because yeah.
See, if you don't attack me, I don't really know you. Wiggin. You fucked up. You fucked up, Wiggin. I'm not putting up with your nonsense. I fucking told you. This is the last time. I'm never coming back to your chat. I'm not going to support you. No more. I want to be around you. I want to give you one of them is what I want to do. Club you right upside the head.
Yeah. We are, and
Well, I get in just as much trouble doing that to you as I would a good man.
You mentioned Canada, the Canadian military, and it's true. It doesn't have the most gigantic military in the world, but always very good troops and pilots and things. And the Royal Canadian Air Force, the RCAF, wonderful Air Force. And I don't know if you.
That's about all Canada really had was an Air Force.
My father, whose name was Jules Orteg, a Basque man, grew up in New York, and in 1941, before the United States was in World War II, but Great Britain and therefore Canada already in World War II. My father went with a couple of his buddies up to Canada and joined the Royal Canadian Air Force in order to get into World War II.
That's where Canada got their pilots. We're American pilots.
Tourists.
Some of them, not all of them.
So got into the Royal Canadian Air Force, and they taught him how to fly.
That was the number one technology of the day: airplanes.
And he was allowed to come back to the U.S. and become a Navy fighter pilot in World War II.
Thank you, fucking Germans would have never had airplanes if they didn't steal our idea, because they were invented here.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm gonna keep listening, and I hope some more out of us be coming on 41 million people now. That you're not just a local station watching by any means.
Right, you're a good man, Mark. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have relatives in St. Catharines. You know, St. Catharines.
Since you mentioned Niagara Falls, and we go up there sometimes too. Yeah, Canada's the greatest. Beer is cold. The people are fun and sweet and lovely, and it's true. The Royal Canadian Air Force has always been great. Mark, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. And to statehood for Canada. Yay, statehood for Canada. I think it's good. I think I've got another, stay there because I got another soundbite or two for you. So keep listening. But let's go to, thank you, Mark. That's great stuff. Everybody loves Canada. Who doesn't love Canada? Come on. You got some polar bears, got some Aleut throat singers. We love the Aleut throat singers. We love that stuff. Yesterday, this came up on on NBC, Meet the Press, not on Face the Meat, but on Meet the Press, on NBC Fake News with their fake journalist, Kristen Welker. And they're interviewing Donald Trump's national security advisor, Mike Waltz, who is a former member of the House of Representatives and a Green Beret and a good guy. National security advisor Mike Waltz on CBS.
Click on the motherfucker and it says I view it.
Yesterday.
Fuck you.
President Trump is serious about annexing Canada to make it the 51st state. Is he right? Is President Trump serious about planning to annex Canada?
Look, I think the Canadian people many of them would love to join the United States with no tariffs, with lower taxes. And I have all kinds of neighbors down in Florida that are Canadians that are escaping any of the liberal policies and have moved in. What we're talking about.
Yes or no?
Definitely all over. Oh, you think some Canadian? Well, sure. It's it's that. I'm sorry, they called it CBS again, Face the Nation, but again, it's NBC Meet the Press.
This is why I listen to the radio right here, because they can do that. You won't. You're not going to get that on TV. If you go into YouTube or other places on social media, I mean, look what they did to certain people. Louder with Prouder, and others.
But never mind that.
This is a live broadcast on the radio. This guy belongs. You can't be on a radio like this. You have to be in the Actors Guild to do this. It's a union.
But there is people that like what we have in the United States and do not like the last 10 years.
There, I just adjusted my butt plug. There you go.
And it's. I was planning on.
I like that.
Kind of like Putin annexed Ukraine. She's using the same
amount of water
because she's a little communist who has a 2-digit IQ, who's a brainwashed, glassy-eyed zombie doing the work of the Democrat Party and the left. And what the heck? That's what I've got to say about her. So Mike Waltz saying, there are a lot of people in Canada. Are you planning on annexing Canada? He's like, I don't know, we're not using the military to invade Canada, you dimwit. But that's our media. If we could get rid of them, replace them, get an honest press corps like they have in Iran or North Korea, someplace like that. Just extraordinary. Womp, womp, womp. What a world it is. The Democrat Party. But, in Canada, you got guys like Mark, regular guys say, join the United States. There'd be some benefits to that. That's true. Statehood now. Statehood for Canada.
There's only one Chris Platt. The Chris Platt Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
I got a few minutes, and then I gotta go. I have to go. I gotta be somewhere in a little bit. Call that last call. Yeah, my ride will be here at noon. I gotta go. I'm going somewheres at 12 o'clock. There you go, Wiggin. Oh, did I ban you from the fucking panel? You have other accounts. All them accounts. You shouldn't have any problem seeing a link if you think you want to come up here and talk to me on my panel. Come on. I want to talk to you about what you did in your chat with that motherfucker. You let that motherfucker troll me, but I can't troll him back. All right, well, I'm going because I'm going to straighten my kitchen up before I fucking go somewhere. I'll be back later. Can't stop me, Rusty. Keep trying though.